Good afternoon. Welcome back to 2 p.m. with the Trigger. I'm Rich Bontrager, live from Washington, D.C., beaming in every day at 2 p.m. with the Trigger. Why do we do this? We're here to help you amplify your brand by helping you shine on camera, shine on stage, so it does amplify you and your brand authority, and you get the results you want. Media, branding, that's what we talk about every day here. And for those that tuned in last night to How to Rock the Stage, we do apologize for last night. We made a decision at the last minute, and Anna Thallis was going to be our guest, talking about the tragedy death of her daughter and what she has done with that tragedy and turned it into hope. An amazing story. Her book is going to be released this coming week, and we decided we were going to delay the show, and next week we're going to premiere the book release on How to Rock the Stage. So if you came last night looking for the show, wait 1 week. It's going to be even better, but we do apologize if you came hoping to see that amazing conversation with Anna. But today, we're going to get back into our regular topics here about marketing, about branding. It's the top 5 branding tips from the great Walt Disney. How did he brand and market and create the empire that he created? We're all trying to figure out how to build the media empire we want, the branded empire that people know, recognize us, they trust us, and it builds and builds and builds. There are some classic, timeless things that Walt Disney did that are still relevant today. I highly recommend taking notes, following along, replaying this, because this is the nuggets that I first used when I began out. And there's much more to talk about, but we're going to give you 5 of them to build your foundation right now today. So, and this is for entrepreneurs, for visionary leaders, for creators. This is what you need to think about here. Number 1, embrace creativity and innovation. Embrace creativity and innovation. You know, Walt Disney was a creative, of course. You know, he came up with great ideas, but he also wanted it to be innovative, not just be creative, do what other people have done. What can we do? He pushed the boundaries very often to see what could be done. Now, not everything he did was a home run. It wasn't all success, but he pushed the boundaries to see what could be done in the area of marketing, branding, creative events, technology. He did all that. Embrace creativity and you look for the unique solutions in your industry. Again, the unique solutions. Stand out from the crowd. Come up with ideas that haven't been tried, that people may have poo-pooed before, but find the solution for it. Find things that people are going to recognize you and your genius, that you've got that visionary lens, and mention it and put it out there. If you have a team, build a culture of innovation. Allow your team to flourish and shine and give them permission to create and risk. You don't have to do it all. The more creative your team is, the more you release them to shine in their sweet spot, the more creativity, the more innovation will continue to come and come and come. Build this area into your leadership, into what you're doing with your brand. Creativity and innovation is a foundational piece of what you want to do going forward. Now, the other thing that Disney is known for, of course, is storytelling. Walt Disney was an amazing storyteller. He would sometimes even storyboard the upcoming animated or live feature, which is very common. People do that all the time. But what Walt did differently often was, because his ideas were so creative, they were innovative, bringing live action with animated together with Dick Van Dyke, he would actually role play out in front of the other innovators and creators, and he would play the role and show them how he wanted them to move and act and move. It was ingenious what he did. He role played what he saw in his head so the other creators could actually create it, and he story told. He was a magnificent storyteller. The central element of great brands are great storytellers. Have a captivating narrative. Have a way to tell what you do, how you do it, why you do it. To build a compelling brand, develop a strong brand story. But it's also got to connect with the audience on an emotional level. That's where a lot of people fail with this. You miss the idea of, I've got a great brand story. It sounds good. It's very clear and crisp, but you don't move from the intellectual to the emotional. This is the shortest distance in the world, the head and the heart. If you can tell more compelling stories about what you do, the services you offer with emotion, and grab them, They will be long-term fans, followers. Brands, values, missions, purposes are all great, but a compelling emotional story is really, really vital. Now, number 3 in our top 5 list here is consistency, quality, and experience. If you've ever gone to any of the Disney parks, the quality is absolutely amazing, but it's the consistency of the quality. I've read several books on this, and Walt Disney made a commitment that you would have a clean park. Now, if you go, there's all sorts of balloons and floats and toys and cotton candy and goodies. You would think, like many amusement parks, the upkeep would be horrendous. Disney built the city of Disney. Walt Disney is built on a whole other layer of an underground structure. So when they clean trash, it goes underground right away. You don't see trash trucks rolling through. You don't see all the things that you see in many other parks. It disappears immediately. He wanted people to be wowed by this, and they moved the trash out underground. If a light bulb is broke, middle of the night, they have a whole team that comes in every night. They check every light bulb, every street corner. If something is nicked and the paint is not quite perfect, they repaint it and touch it up every single night. Think of the man hours that they put into this. There's a whole nighttime crew just to make sure the excellency of the Disney parks are there. Strive for consistency. Build that quality of the product, the services, the way you do customer service relations. Build the trust and the loyalty among your customers. And like Disney, you will see people come back time and time again because it's the experience they're having, and it's a quality experience that is far done, surpasses so many other places. Create a magical customer experience. This one builds right on the last one we were just talking about, but Disney made this magical, and it was very experiential. Pay attention to every little detail when you work with your customers. Now, you've had phone calls. You've talked to customer representatives. Sometimes they're not the most happiest people. Many times those phone rep people get a lot of no's, and it's hard to keep the smile and the happiness going with the next call and the next call. So train your staff to be people that behave excellent. They represent you, your brand, perfectly. Every touch point. Every touch point should go above and beyond customer service. When you walk into the Disney parks, I think it's absolutely amazing. My daughters, I had 3 daughters, walking into the park, they're checking the bags, but there's 2 or 3 people checking us in. And someone will say, "Hi, little princess, how are you doing today?" And they did to each one of my daughters. The idea was the experience at the gate. You are now entering a magical world, and you are a prince or a princess. And they treated you that way all the way through. And other people would say the same thing throughout the park. They created an environment that wraps people into this magical experience. And I've shared before that my wife walked in the first time, got the Cinderella's castle, and she started crying because she said she felt like she was 10 years old again. It was magical. It grabs at you. When you go on Space Mountain, you bet I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm having a good time. I am all in. Greetings. Welcome to the show this afternoon. Thanks for listening in. Have you ever been to Disney? Do you like the idea that Disney is putting forward? Drop some other comments in the chat if you would. Number five here is one of building a strong brand identity. It wrapped it all together. Those top 4 were studying it up, doing it all. But number 5 is actually build the brand out. Actually build it out. Now, Disney had a logo, a very distinct logo. It was built on the character of Mickey Mouse. You know, you get the mouse ears when you go to Disney. Everyone gets the mouse ears, right? Even the adults get mouse ears at Disney. That's how powerful this is. But the logo, the emblems, all are the circle head with the big ears, and everyone knows this is Disney. And you walk around Orlando, and everyone knows you've been to Disney. Dennis is dropping in today. Good to see you, Dennis. So let me beat on this one a little bit harder, because this is the brand identity portion of this as much as you can. Establish a strong brand identity. Come up with a logo. You can see our logo right here from Rock the Stage Media right there. It's the blue, it's the yellow, orange. That's everywhere we brand everything. Most of our posts have a blue and a gold type in it. And that's on all of our posts. You will see it. You'll get sick of seeing the blue. You get sick of seeing the gold yellow. That's intentional because we want you to know. Stick with the same font you come up with. One company I had launched early in my career, I launched it. I had it. It was for our church, and it was Journey Church. I got a letter from Journey Shoes Corporate that our logo font was too close to their font, and they were going to sue us for infringing on their font. Now, I laugh at that because I got the font from a font bank on a disc that I bought, and this company doesn't own the font. They just wanted to shake and shake because it was that good of a logo. It was that crisp and clear. They didn't like someone butting up next to them and playing off of them. That's some of the stuff you need to think on. I don't recruit people from the water department, Dennis, but do you? I don't. Do you? But when it comes to this whole building your strong brand identity, you do want to have it. If you use Canva, you use other tools, you want to write down the right color code, everything. Remember what your branding strategy and colors are. Keep that with you. Consistently reinforce the brand identity across all of your channels. You've heard me before here talk about this. You want to build your CBS or NBC type of family network, and your logos need to reflect it's your brand, but it has different channels, but every one of those needs to be labeled, branded, same colors, same logos, slight variations of the wording maybe, but you want it to be, they know it's you. Disney did a marvelous job. He didn't just build a character of Mickey Mouse. He built a brand for his empire around Mickey Mouse. And as we mentioned just recently on one of our 2 p.m.s, it was Walt and Mickey, Mickey and Walt. You could not separate the two. And look where it's at now. It's an amazing global empire. People know it. You don't have to tell anybody. If you see those little mouse ears with a round circle, the big round circle, you know it's a Mickey Mouse symbol. It's that powerful of a symbol. McDonald's does the same thing. The golden arches, you know the golden arches. There are certain brands. The Nike swoosh is another one of those. Everyone knows the Nike swoosh. So think about what you want to do to step out and be separate from everybody else. Now, it's important to adapt those tips. All 5 of these tips I just gave you, adapt them to your brand. Disney's strategies work excellent for Disney, but the world has changed. Things are progressing. Have a tailored approach. Take these ideas and modify them, tweak them to what's best going to work for you, your industry. Everyone's industry is a little bit different. So you got to know who you're talking to, know the clients you're talking to. And I would highly recommend one book for you. If you can get one book, Inside the Magic Kingdom, The 7 Keys to Disney's Success. It's a dynamite book. I've read it and devoured it. You really can get a lot out of the marketing, the branding schemes that made Disney what it is and still is today. So top 5, again, embrace creativity and innovation. Focus on storytelling. Consistency, quality of the experience. Create a magical experience, not just any old experience. Create a magical experience with what you do. And build a strong brand identity. Let your brand be strong and strong and strong and strong. There's Dennis coming back again. Sounds as part of branding. Build it out. And I know, Dennis, you do have a brand. Those speakers you have are your brand. They're your identity. The sound you talk about is part of your brand. That's part of the brand story that he has created with his brand. Work on these things to stay committed to them. It doesn't happen overnight. Remember, Walt Disney went bankrupt several times before he succeeded. He had another cartoon stolen by somebody else and took over and ripped off what he was drawing and creating. It's not always easy when you're a creator, when you're an innovator, when you're pushing the limits. People will try to copy. But stay the course. Stay true to your branding, stay true to your mission, and continue to rock everything you do. If you want to learn more about how you can elevate your brand, maybe you need some coaching in this. Maybe you need some insights to better Shake it out. Maybe you got ideas, but you're unsure of it. How far do you go? Where do you push the envelope? How do you really make it a cohesive brand network that I coach and teach? Hit that QR code, book a call. Let's talk more about you, your brand, your dreams, so we can build your media empire, your branded media empire, build it out to be as strong as possible. Just hit that QR code and come and join this. I like your YouTube channel and your videos are good on the air. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. That's part of the brand. I'm media savvy. I can help other people do that as well, but thank you for the compliment today. Hey, that's going to wrap up 2 p.m. with The Trigger. Love to have you come back again tomorrow as we wrap up the week. 2 p.m. Eastern time every day. I come out here live to give you insider tips to help you shine on camera, shine on stage, and elevate you and your brand authority. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. with The Trigger.